Over the past few days, there has been a raging battle between Jack Dorsey and certain members of Web3 Twitter who felt triggered by Dorsey's tweet that Web3 may not be as decentralized as many believe. Things seemed to come to a head when Dorsey tweeted that his tweets about Web3 had earned him a block from Marc Andreessen, co-founder and general partner of Silicon Valley venture capital firm Andreessen and Horowitz. Elon Musk also entered the fracas by tweeting that he could not find Web3. Has anyone seen Web3? I cannot find it, the billionaire tweeted on December 21, evoking another string of mixed reactions from Jack Dorsey and crypto Twitter. Welcome to Savvy Finance, a channel dedicated to bringing you the latest development in the crypto community to help you make informed investment decisions. In this video, we examine Web3 and what it means to different categories of people in the crypto community. We also examine Jack Dorsey's beef with the technology that is set to replace the internet as we know it today and what all these things mean for retail investors like us. Please ensure you watch the video to the end. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. On December 21, former CEO and co-founder of Twitter Jack Dorsey tweeted that Web3 will not be the completely decentralized option that we need to overcome the data breach of Web2. In his tweet, Dorsey, who is currently the CEO of Block financial payments company Block, stated that Web3 would unofficially belong to venture capital firms and their limited partners. You do not own Web3. The venture capital firms and their limited partners do. It will never escape their incentives. It is ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. Know what you are getting into. The tweet, which has been liked and retweeted by tens of thousands of Twitter users, piqued the interest of many crypto community members, each with different views about why Jack Dorsey, a loud advocate of Bitcoin, seems so set against Web3. One user chose to remind Dorsey that Twitter, which he co-founded and headed for many years, started as a protocol that embraces free speech, but got sidetracked by corporate and political incentives. The Twitter user added that Web3 offers a possibility, not guarantee of something that will not be controlled by the same politics that sidetracked Twitter into censorship and deplatforming. Dorsey replies by stating that Twitter started as a corporation. It has had corporate incentives from day one. It is trying to offset those, and it will through Blue Sky. Web3 has the same corporate incentives, but it hides it under decentralization. Another user tweeted a picture of a Wall Street Journal article that lists Jack Dorsey as one of those working to make Web3 a reality. Jack Dorsey immediately denies having any part in that and states that Wall Street Journal and other news outlets only put names and photos in their articles for clicks and likes. More users came for Dorsey, and he had suitable responses. One user wrote, "I wish I could vibe more with this, but you have taken a lot of VC money, so I do not know what you mean." And Dorsey replies with, "And this is why I know exactly what I mean." Before we examine Dorsey's fear about the real owners of Web3 and what it means for retail investors, we must first examine what Web3 means and how it differs from the internet as we know it today. What is Web3? Web3 or Web 3.0 is the next phase of the internet, and it promotes decentralized protocols and aims to reduce the hold that big tech companies have on the space, especially when it comes to data storage. Simply put, Web3 seeks to do to the web what Bitcoin and other digital assets have done to the investment world. Imagine a web that is so completely decentralized that all users can participate in the governance and operation of the protocols themselves. Web 2, which we are using currently, is basically read and write. Everyone has access to information, and anyone can write codes and input information into the web, but only the big tech companies own Web 2.0. Web 3 promises to change all these and present a web where reading, inputting, and owning is possible for all. It will end the era of using free platforms that have ultimate access to our passwords and other personal data. In Web 3, anyone who owns cryptocurrency owns a portion of the web and will have a say over the network. There will also be a proliferation of cooperative governance structures that will replace all the centralized products we see today. We can already see a little bit of this in the gaming and NFT industry. If Web 3 promises all these goodies, why are people like Jack Dorsey against it? The main criticism against Web3 is that, in reality, it would be completely different from what we have in theory. As Dorsey stated in his tweet, there are fears that big firms will only slap the decentralized tag on Web3 and take a large portion for themselves, while retail gets almost nothing. These concerns are aptly summed in one of Dorsey's retweets. The tweet shows a caricature of a pot-bellied Silicon Valley venture capital firm taking the lion's share of Web3 while a sickly-looking retail manages the small leaks. Dorsey and other critics believe that ownership over blockchain networks majorly favors early adopters and venture capitalists. There is also the issue of decentralization theater, where decentralization occurs in name only with a completely different reality for retail investors. For example, many decentralized finance protocols and private blockchains are worth hundreds of millions of dollars and owned by only a few billionaires. People like Vitalik Buterin, co-founder of Ethereum, will also continue to hold a large amount of power over a protocol, which in theory is leaderless. What exactly is Dorsey's beef against Web3? It should be noted that this battle has been raging for some time now. It is not a new debate between the two categories of the Twitter crypto community. On one end, we have an alliance of what you might call Ethereans. This category of people supports protocols that are similar to the Ethereum protocol or the Ethereum protocol itself. These folks are often the loudest supporters of decentralized finance, play-to-earn gaming, non-fungible tokens, and decentralized autonomous organizations. These applications, exchanges, and protocols rely on smart contracts, lines of blockchain codes working towards transparent peer-to-peer transactions. They also believe that the web should have more smart contract applications. When this is achieved, the web will transition from what we have now to Web 3.0. On the other side of the raging battle are Bitcoiners and Bitcoin maximalists who believe that other cryptocurrencies and tokens threaten the supremacy of Bitcoin. They also believe that the Bitcoin network is the only solely decentralized network with adequate data security, freedom from censorship, and trustlessness, a term that describes the network's complete transparency rules. According to Bitcoiners, other networks and protocols mimicking the Ethereum-style network have lost track of what true decentralization means. In their quest for usability and features, they have become decentralized in name only, or what they call theatrical decentralization. On his part, Dorsey believes that the mode of operation of venture capital firms is to lure retail investors with a decentralized tag while staying in charge of their systems. We can already see examples of what Tether and Circle are doing with USDT and USDC stablecoins. Administrators have the power not only to block blacklisted users, but also to seize their funds. While this may have some advantages, it weakens the decentralized tag that has been slapped on these systems. So while we are all looking forward to the largely uncharted and muddy waters of these Ethereum-style protocols and all the amazing possibilities they offer, Dorsey wants us to examine the disadvantages that could surface. There is the issue that these applications will not be as decentralized as their billionaire backers want us to believe. There is also the issue that it would be near impossible for networks to have all these cool uses and the decentralized and transparent qualities of the Bitcoin network. The Web3 being sold to us might be near impossible to achieve because it will not make the compromise that Bitcoin makes to enjoy its foolproof security. Nobody expects Web3 to have the transaction speed and other features we see with Bitcoin. Though some Web3 features are being built on the Bitcoin network, it might not be able to support them on the required scale and speed. The question now is, if Dorsey is warning us about the involvement of venture capital firms in Web3, what other alternatives are there to financing and building the future he sees for the web? Are we to completely reject the possibilities it presents because of their involvement, or look forward to Web 2.5, which would not be as powerful but more secured? There is also the question of what Dorsey stands to gain if the web remains as it is today, which is why this user tweets. Web 2 Baron does not like technologies that would undermine his empire. News at 11. All these are complex issues that will have no clear-cut answers until we see them play out. But before then, it is clear that the future is for crypto users. If you are one of the few people that own crypto, no matter the quantity, you are going to have a slice of that future. In fact, the more you have, the bigger your slice and your power over the future of the internet and the investment sector. Thanks for watching. Please ensure you click the like button, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel.